La rivière à l'envers. Tomek. Tomek, un orphelin de 13 ans, tient la petite épicerie de son village. Un soir, une jeune fille entre dans sa boutique et lui demande s'il vend de l'eau de la rivière Kejar. C'est l'eau qui empêche de mourir, dit-elle. Okay, so hopefully from last time you know enough that you remember about what happens and where he is and who he is, and enough about some of the words for when we read it, you're not worrying about every single word, but it makes some sense. I mentioned last time how I started reading books in French and how I got to page 50 before I really knew what was going on. I didn't say I bought a lot of books second hand, and on the first page, whoever had the book before me had often written in pencil, in English, all the words they looked up in a dictionary, and then on page 2 they'd stopped, and I don't think they got beyond page 1. So that thing of just letting the French go through your head, the first page is always the most difficult because you don't know who's who or what's going on. Just read it and go with it and get what you get out of it, and you'll pick it up later if it's important. Okay? Don't stop and look up every word, and I won't be doing that. I'm not going to do that to you. Yesterday you had a little look at the book, didn't you? We looked at the blurb, but you had a look. Tomek. Here we have a little bit about the author. L'auteur. Après avoir enseigné l'allemand pendant quelques années, Jean-Claude Mourlevat s'est tourné vers sa passion, le théâtre. D'abord comme comédien, puis en tant que formateur et metteur en scène. Aujourd'hui, il se consacre aussi à l'écriture de livres pour la jeunesse, de romans pour adultes et à la traduction. Okay, so I don't need to tell you what this says. L'auteur. This is what he used to do. Enseigner l'allemand. You might know allemand means German, and he used to teach German. Pendant quelques années, Jean-Claude Mourlevat s'est tourné vers sa passion. He took up his real passion after he stopped being a teacher, le théâtre. And I don't need to tell you what that means. This, I will help you. Comédien doesn't mean a comedian, that's an actor. D'abord comme comédien, puis en tant que formateur et metteur en scène. So he became a trainer in the theatre and a director. So, teacher, theatre person. Aujourd'hui, today, that's a good word to know. We know what he does today. Il se consacre aussi à l'écriture de livres pour la jeunesse. Writing of books for young people. De romans pour adultes, novels for adults, et à la traduction. Translation, because we know he used to be a German teacher. So, translation. You had a little look yesterday as well, and then we talked about the spine and the blurb, didn't we? Last lesson, but you might have spotted this, the dedication, à mon père, and then this one, if you remember there's two books, there's Hannah, the dedication, à ma mère, à mon père, à ma mère. Today we're going to have a look at the prologue. I never know whether to read the prologue, because it's not part of the story itself. I don't know why they put them in, I just want to get on with the story, but we will have a look. Prologue. Ok. L'histoire que voici se passe en un temps où l'on n'avait pas encore inventé le confort moderne. Les jeux télévisés n'existaient pas, ni les voitures avec airbag, ni les magasins à grande surface. On ne connaissait même pas les téléphones portables. Mais il y avait déjà les arcs-en-ciel après la pluie, la confiture d'abricots avec des amandes dedans, les bains de minuit improvisés. Enfin, toutes ces choses qu'on continue à apprécier de nos jours. Il y avait aussi, hélas, les chagrins d'amour et les rhumes des foins, contre lesquels on n'a toujours rien trouvé de vraiment efficace. Bref, c'était autrefois. I don't know about pointing with the pen, because it moves slower than I speak, and it might be distracting. Okay, so you might have got some words. Histoire, we did it when we did au collège, in school, means history, except here it just means story. You might have got magasin, télévisé, airbags, voiture, abricot, bain, confiture, amour. I will tell you how it's working. This is at the top. Temps can mean time or weather. Here it's time. So the story's happening when, and this is all the things that they didn't have yet. In the middle, it's the things that they did have, and they're good things. And at the end, there's some stuff that they had that wasn't good, and we still have it, and no one likes it. So I'm going to read it through again, then you can pause and tell your teacher what you think there might be in that list. L'histoire que voici se passe en un temps où l'on n'avait pas encore inventé le confort moderne. Les jeux télévisés n'existaient pas, ni les voitures avec airbags, ni les magasins à grande surface. On ne connaissait même pas les téléphones portables. Mais il y avait déjà des arcs-en-ciel après la pluie, la confiture d'abricots avec des amandes dedans, les bains de minuit improvisés, enfin, toutes ces choses qu'on continue à apprécier de nos jours. Il y avait aussi, hélas, les chagrins d'amour et les rhumes des foins, contre lesquels on n'a toujours rien trouvé de vraiment efficace. Bref, c'était autrefois. Okay, pause. Put your hand up and tell your teacher the things that you recognised. Put your hand up quick before someone else chooses all the ones that you said, or that you know. Don't know why I'm pausing. Okay, I will carry on. I hope you did that. L'histoire que voici se passe en un temps où on n'avait pas encore inventé, they hadn't invented modern comfort. We know he lives in a little village, don't we? And he's got the shop. Les jeux télévisés n'existaient pas. Télévisé is televised, and jeu, you know, jouer is to play. These are TV games, game shows. N'existait pas, ni, so ne mean ne pas is not, and ni is another negative, neither nor. Nor les voitures avec airbags, cars with airbags. You could have guessed that from this, couldn't you? Ni les magasins à grande surface. This is shops. This is big supermarkets, I'd call that, wouldn't you? A big surface shop. And we know he runs the little shop in the village. On connaissait même pas les téléphones portables. Not even, we would call it mobile phones. Not portable. Here's the mais. You know this word, but. So all these things, but. And you know il y a, there is, il y avait, there was. Il y avait déjà les arcs-en-ciel après la pluie. Arcs in the sky. So rainbows after the, that's it, that's the word for rain. La confiture d'abricot, apricot jam with almonds in. Les bains de minuit improvisés. Minuit. We know midi from our phonics words in year 7, midday. This is midnight, minuit. Les bains could be baths. It means jumping in the river or in the sea. Swimming, midnight swim. You'd call that a spontaneous midnight swim. Enfin, toutes ces choses, all these things that we still appreciate today. Il y avait aussi, hélas, you can tell that means alas, les chagrins d'amour, you know, love, so it's like heartbreak. Et le rhume des foins, heartbreak and hay fever, the two worst things on the planet, contre lesquels, against which, on n'a toujours rien trouvé de vraiment efficace, against which we have still not found anything really effective. Bref, c'était autrefois. In brief, in short, basically, it was another time. And that's the story we're going to read. It happened in another time. Okay, I'm going to read it through one last time. And you're just going to enjoy understanding not every word, not every little bit of every word, not looking up in a dictionary and writing in on pencil and getting stuck on page 1. It's going to put the French through your head. You're going to have that comprehensible input of I know what this says, I know what's going on, and I'm picking up loads of stuff, and I'm really enjoying doing French and looking forward to the story. Prologue. L'histoire que voici se passe en un temps où l'on n'avait pas encore inventé le confort moderne. Les jeux télévisés n'existaient pas, ni les voitures avec airbags, ni les magasins à grande surface. On ne connaissait même pas les téléphones portables, mais il y avait déjà les arcs-en-ciel après la pluie, la confiture d'abricots avec des amandes dedans, les bains de minuit improvisés. Enfin, toutes ces choses qu'on continue à apprécier de nos jours. Il y avait aussi, hélas, les chagrins d'amour et le rhume des freins, contre lesquels on n'a toujours rien trouvé de vraiment efficace. Bref, c'était autrefois. Okay, good. Don't forget, we have got it being read by the author, if you don't like my French. Next time, we'll go back over this, see how much is still in your brains, just for comprehensible input, and get the pictures in your head and an idea of what's going on, listening to the French. And we'll start the story. Okay? I don't know, your teachers might make you write some words down, they might ask you to read it aloud, you might want to have lots of things to say. Okay, but that's the end of this one. I'll see you next time for the beginning of chapter 1.